Mustangs a successful season.
Looking for a fast, friendly notary service? Sandy Howell Notary Services, LLC, 158 Dry Knob Road, Smithfield, PA, is here to help with transfers, plate renewals, new PA plates, and more. They serve Uniontown, Smithfield, Fairchance, and surrounding areas. Open weekday evenings starting at 5:30 p.m., Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sandy Howell Notary Services, 158 Dry Knob Road, Smithfield, 724-564-8955. Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you by name. Magisterial District Judge Daniel Shimshock wants you to stay safe this winter. Make sure your car is ready with a full tank of gas and winter tires. Run cold water in your house so the pipes don't freeze. And don't overdo it when shoveling snow. These winter safety tips courtesy of Magisterial District Judge Daniel Shimshock, hoping that you enjoy the snow while staying safe.
Brian Morozak and Steve Suberg back here at Laurel Highlands High School, just about set to go. The Laurel Highlands Mustangs hosting the Albert Gallatin Colonials. The Mustangs in their home whites, blue numbers, red trim. Albert Gallatin in their away blacks, gray numbers, and white trim. The Mustang bench off to our left, as always. The Albert Gallatin bench off to our right. How much of a challenge, Steve, is this going to be for Albert Gallatin tonight, especially without Jameer Braxton being available? Braxton, who scored 28 points against Thomas Jefferson on Tuesday, out with a back injury.
Well, they're in trouble. It's going to be tough. Nothing to sugarcoat about it. They're going to have a hard time. They're going to have a hard time controlling the big three, the Shields, Gallagher, and Davis. And, it's just going to be very, very difficult for them to stay in this game. And the only thing, like I said, we talked about earlier, maybe Shea's got a few tricks up his sleeve. Maybe he's got, he needs a hot shooter, and he needs to slow the pace down and keep it a low-scoring game, but no one so far has been able to do that to the Mustangs.
How much can you actually slow the game down against this Laurel Highlands team?
Well, there's no shot clock, so you don't really have to shoot. You could get, if they could just hold the ball, but the problem is I don't know if they can hold the ball. If their ball handlers are good enough to keep it away from those the whole Mustang team is very athletic, so it'll be really difficult for them to do that.
The Braxton injury really comes at a bad time for Albert Gallatin. They're scheduled to play a tough non-conference game tomorrow at North Allegheny as well before returning to conference action on Tuesday against Connellsville.
It's not good to have one of your leading scorer out with a back injury, and you just hope for him and the Colonials that he can get back and healthy. It's probably better. If you think about it, realistically, you got to think this is going to be a tough one to win, even if he was here. They got beat 91-51 when he was here last time, and he scored a bunch of points. So it really, from that standpoint, it didn't help a lot. He's a great player, but you got to get him rested. You got more games to play during the year, so you got to keep him healthy.
Now, on the Laurel Highlands side, you look at Rodney Gallagher. He's been scoring a lot lately. Steve, averaging around 26 points a game over the Mustangs last 5 games. And I was told today that the Tribune Review is actually working on a documentary entitled Being Rodney Gallagher. It's going to debut during the WPIL playoffs. They're going to actually follow Rod around and show a little behind-the-scenes stuff, which is going to be pretty cool.
I guess, yeah. It should be interesting.
The Mustangs huddling off to our left again. It's Keandre DeShields, Rodney Gallagher, Brandon Davis, Joey Chambers, and Nico Johns. Blake White, Caleb Matzes-Chapman, Mikel Belt, Nick Pegg, and Grayson Jarrett for the Albert Gallatin Colonials. Travis Eisentrout, Shane Snyder, and Cal Stewart, your officials for the game tonight. Players shaking hands here in the center circle. Keandre jumping against Nick Pegg, and we'll get this one underway from Laurel Highlands' packed house tonight. And the opening tap will on back to the aforementioned Rodney Gallagher, and he'll bring it across. Mustangs working left to right as we describe it on the far wing to Keandre DeShields. Back between the circles to Brandon Davis. Now Keandre again, 3 on the way. Rolling out there, and on the backside, it's Nick Pegg with a game-winning shot for Albert Gallatin on Tuesday against Thomas Jefferson, picking up the rebound. Off to Blake White. He works right of the lane. Will turn and shoot off the mark underneath Joey Chambers. The rebound there for Laurel Highlands. Mustangs looking to run. Down to Gallagher here on the near side. John sets the screen. 3 on the way. Off the front of the rim. No good there for Rod. Rebound that time. Matzes-Chapman for Albert Gallatin. Matzes-Chapman back into the forecourt. Little switch up top here with Mikel Belts. Become good friends with his dad, Steve, at Albert Gallatin games over the last couple of years. Filming a lot of the contest for the Colonials. Back to Matzes-Chapman. He'll fire the 3, trying to bank it in from the wing. Wouldn't drop, and Brandon Davis. Rebound there for Laurel Highlands. Cold shooting on both sides to start this game, Steve.
It's cold outside and cold shooting, and it's just a little bit. Everybody's just a little off, and it's got a little bit of a playoff atmosphere here.
Yes, it does.
There's not very many open seats. Big student section that's pretty loud over there for the Colonials, and of course the Mustang section is very well attended as always. They got the I don't know what their theme is tonight. I see a lot of shirt and ties tonight. So business-like approach maybe.
Chambers fumbled it out of bounds. The Colonials have it back. This game's still scoreless. We played almost 90 seconds. There's Blake White between defenders. Pretty move. Handoff. Right block underneath. Shot with the left hand and the finish for Caleb Matzis-Chapman. That was well drawn up, Steve.
Well, nice drive in. Found the open man. And for the Colonials, what they need some cold shooting from the Mustangs to keep them in this game. That's going to
be a charge down low on Brandon Davis. So the Colonials getting a few breaks here early on, Steve. Good ball movements. It's like the fire alarm going off here in the gym. That might actually pause this game for a little bit until they get it situated. So the fire alarm going off. They're going to bring players on both sides to the bench. 6:14 left in the first. AG a 2-0 lead. We're back in 60 from the CR Piranha Group High School Sports Night.
Keep your legal needs close to home. Attorney Vincent T. Berry specializes in criminal justice, wills and estates, family law, and personal injury. Attorney T. Berry is located at 84 East Main Street, across the street from the Fayette County Courthouse in Uniontown. When you need to consult an attorney, make your first call to Attorney Vince T. Berry. It will be the only call you need to make. Call 724-430-0300. That's 724-430-0300.
You know the importance of planning for retirement, and you plan to enjoy a long and healthy life after you retire. But it's also important to plan for the possibility of needing care on a long-term basis. As life expectancies grow in the U.S., the potential need for long-term care grows as well. A Northwestern long-term care insurance company policy can help pay for the care you may need.
To learn more, call John R. Ritchie today, 724-550-4414. That's 724-550-4414 for John R. Ritchie.
Well, Steve, looks like they got the alarm off, so we're going to be able to resume action here. 6:14 left in the first. Albert Gallatin leading Laurel Highlands 2-0. And that's at least the second time that's happened up here this year.
Well, maybe that was a free timeout for Coach Fleener and for Coach Hogger. He was a little upset with his guys, giving them the once-over, so maybe they'll wake up a little bit.
It's Matzis-Chapman up top on the elbow. Nice bounce pass down low, coming free for the finish, Grayson Jarrett. So 4 unanswered out of the gates for Albert Gallatin, and they lead Laurel Highlands 4-0. Here's Keandre back to Rodney Gallagher here between the circles. AG coming out a little bit defensively as John sets the screen. Rod fires the three off the mark. And that rebound won there by Nico Johns on the offensive glass. Back down to Brandon Davis. Baseline drive, no good. Nick Pegg the rebound there for Albert Gallatin. Colonials coming to play tonight, Stevie, without Jameer Braxton.
Well, they only have 4 points. The Mustangs just don't have any. That's the problem for the Mustangs.
White trapped far side. What's the call here?
It's going to be probably a foul on Nico Johns, I'm guessing. Let's see who Travis Ozentrite puts it on.
You're right on that.
Yep.
Nico didn't like the call, kind of shook his hands out there. Called on the floor. So Matzis-Chapman will trigger it in. Far side in front of the Laurel Highlands cheerleaders. Goes in there to White.
Travel.
He's called for the travels. He slipped on the cut, working towards the basket. So the Mustangs without a point. We've played just over 2.5 minutes. As Brandon Davis works it into Rodney Gallagher. Rod brings it across. AG coming out again defensively. Rod plays catch there with Brandon Davis. Davis has it, far wing, high arcing three, good. Brandon Davis, that's his 23rd made three of the year. And AG back to within one at 4-3, or Laurel Highlands back to within one at 4-3. Those three balls can get you right back into the game pretty quickly. AG a little shovel out on the far side, pivot back, Jarrett back high on the right as AG now resets with Blake White. White trying to straddle that far boundary, ruled out of bounds in front of the Mustang student section. So Laurel Highlands will get it back down one at 4-3. They kind of hemmed him in there, Steve, pretty well.
Yeah, pretty good defense. Mustangs defensively, they're playing pretty good. They just can't. They've only made one field goal, so let's see if they can.
Turn and shoot there from Keandre. It's good. So 5 unanswered out of Laurel Highlands. Just like that, the Mustangs on top at 5-4.
Big George got the foam finger rolling.
He was ready to go tonight.
He's waiting for a couple dunks, though, he says.
Yes, he was on the live stream when we started the Sprouse Insurance Group pregame. Little fade away. No good there from Matzis Chapman. Ball deflected out of bounds off of Laurel Highlands and out. So Albert Gallatin will keep it here in the Mustang zone with 4:09 left in the first. Mustangs a 5-4 lead. Matzis Chapman will trigger it in. Will send it in near side to Belt. Belt coming baseline near side, nothing there. Pulls back out to the wing. Watched by Nico Johns. Tried an interior pass that got deflected, then saved there on the elbow by Nick Pegg. Pegg, good bounce pass inside. A little dunk under and then back up from Blake White. Converting on the 2 there for the Colonials, and AG back on top at 6-5. Here's Rod coming baseline far side in the Colonial zone. Pulls out to Keandre. He'll put it off the glass and in. Keandre to Shields with 4. Mustangs back on top at 7-6. 3:39 left here in the first. Here's Belt on the near wing. Lost the dribble. Pulls it back into the corner to Matzis Chapman. Matzis Chapman left of the lane. Got pinned up there and stripped. Gallagher on it forward. Brandon Davis got fouled on the shot attempt. Shot was no good. He'll have 2 free throws upcoming, and the foul will go on Matzis Chapman. That'll be his first, team first.
I think Davis had an idea of dunking it, and he had a streaky Keandre coming behind him, but Matzis Chapman was in there to create a little interference.
Davis makes the first of 2 free throws. He's Laurel Highlands' best free throw shooter. Came in 73 of 90, 81%. Laurel Highlands as a team, 73%, 205 of 280. They've been solid at the foul line all season.
Pratt checks in for Nico Johns.
Second of 2 free throws, good there for Davis. So Davis, 5 of the 9 for Laurel Highlands. They lead at 9-6. Mustangs without Mason Bolish and Tajai Hooper available tonight. And in the corner, tough play there, but a heads-up play by Nick Pegg, throwing it off of Keandre and out. And it'll be Grayson Jarrett to reload here for Albert Gallatin. Colonials down 3, and it goes into Jaden Pratt. Now check that, Cameron Pratt, who just checked in here on the Albert Gallatin side. And he'll switch back up top now with Mikel Belt. And Belt putting it off the glass and in. Mikel Belt, his first 2 of the game. AG hanging around, down 1 at 9-8 as we go into 3 minutes left here in the opening quarter. Ronnie Gallagher back up top. Near wing, Brandon Davis coming near baseline, kick out Joe Chambers, back to Davis. Davis underneath, handing off out in front. Keandre comes free and lays it up and in. So Keandre with 6, Davis has 5, and the Mustangs an 11-8 lead over Albert Gallatin here at the 2:36 mark of the first. Blake White pulling it back out to Mikel Belt. Belt only a sophomore. Belt's going to work here right of the lane, back in the corner, 3 on the way, and good for Albert Gallatin and Grayson Jarrett. So Jarrett now with 5, and this game tied at 11 with 2:15 left here in the first. Davis back up top, Gallagher between the circles, watched there by Cameron Pratt. Back to Davis, NBA range 3. Out the front of the rim, no good. Battle for the rebound on the far side, kept alive there, Chambers. Back of the foul line, Keandre now backs off outside the arc. Keandre, a little spin move, jumper right of the lane, no good. Rattles out again, and that's Jaden Pratt underneath, scoring on the putbacks. The Mustangs a couple of opportunities on that possession before Jaden Pratt was able to finish it. And Laurel Highlands a 13-11 lead here at the 1:45 mark of the first. Here's Blake White trying to work around Gallagher, at a little poke, and then it's pulled back to Nick Pegg, edge of the zone. Plays catch there with Blake White, kick back in the corner. And now coming inside, losing the dribble, trying to send it out. Jarrett was deflected out of bounds off of Laurel Highlands and out, so AG keeps possession here in the Mustang zone. Matzis Chapman back in along with Daniel Llewellyn, who's given Coach Fleener good minutes all season long. And this Albert Gallatin team, Steve, rather young. You have a couple of seniors in Matzis Chapman and Pegg. That's pretty much it. A turnover down low. Gallagher on the intercept. Gallagher going coast to coast, but couldn't finish. Went crashing into the bleachers on the far side. Pratt went for the save, ruled out of bounds, and over to Albert Gallatin.
Well, I think he was expecting to get some contact that never came. They kind of just let him go through there, and I think he was might have threw him off a little bit.
AG down 2. They'll bring it back across here with Blake White. White switch back up top with Cameron Pratt. Watched there by Brandon Davis. Now it's Chutch again for Matzes Chapman. He was double teamed off on the far side. Good ball movement. Pegg comes free and finishes. So Nick Pegg with the game winner against Thomas Jefferson on Tuesday for the Colonials. Ties this one up at 13 as we go under 50 seconds left here in the opening quarter. I think a great opening frame for Albert Gallatin. Jumper from the foul line. No good. Jaden Pratt. Rebound tipped around and controlled there by Llewellyn for Albert Gallatin. Off to Cameron Pratt and across. Sent off on the far wing. Now down low on the reset. A shot rattling in. And that one sat around forever, Steve, before dropping. And I think that was Blake White. No, check that. That was 11 Pegg. Pegg, and they gave him the 3. So the Colonials go on top 16-13. 15 seconds left here in this opening quarter. Surprise, surprise. Contact down low. Charge called. They're on Keandre. Wow. These AG fans, Steve, that made their way out to the gym today, they're fired up.
Yep, well, they should be. It's a pretty good start for the Colonials. And, I said it. I didn't think they'd have much of a chance. And still a lot of basketball left, but they are hanging in there for a quarter for sure.
Matzes Chapman is seen, drives, tried a little scoop shot, couldn't get it to go well, and the rebound got rejected there by Pratt as time expires after one. But what a first quarter for the Albert Gallatin Colonials. They lead Laurel Highlands 16-13. We're back with a second quarter in 60 seconds here on the CR Brada Group High School Sports Night.
Chris Parker Jr., it's a new year, so what's new for 2022 at Autoland Hyundai?
2022 will bring a tax refund for many people. So if you're expecting a tax refund, stop in at Autoland and ask us about our deferred down payment program.
That makes buying a new Hyundai easier. Any other special offers?
The entire Hyundai lineup has great offers, such as the 2022 Venue hatchback with 0.9% APR up to 60 months. Or get $750 off with HMF bonus cash. And when the snow arrives, don't get stuck without all-wheel drive. Be prepared. Stop in at Autoland and check out our all-wheel drive Hyundai Konas, Tucsons, and Santa Fe's.
And of course, every new Hyundai comes with America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection, and 3-year complimentary maintenance. Autoland Hyundai, downtown Uniontown. See them online at AutolandHyundai.com or phone 724-437-9999. That's 724-437-9999 for Autoland Hyundai.
Remember, you always pay less to drive the best at Autoland Hyundai.
So what a start for the Albert Gallatin Colonials. Certainly big-time underdogs coming in tonight without their leading scorer, Jameer Braxton, but they lead Laurel Highlands, the number 2 team in the state of Pennsylvania, 16-13 after one quarter of play. And Steve, talking to Shea Fleener during the Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show, you look at Braxton's numbers on the season. We've talked about so many great freshmen and sophomores around our coverage area, but Braxton, he's been kind of under the radar, but really shouldn't be, with averaging 18 points and 7 rebounds a game. Had a nice season.
Yep, he's had a great season.
Now Matzes Chapman will send it in here for Albert Gallatin. Going to the backcourt, a little fumble there from Cameron Pratt. Fouled by Joe Chambers, who takes it right to the rack and lays it up and in for his first 2 of the game. And just like that, Laurel Highlands back to within 1, down 16-15. Cameron Pratt coming back, sending it off near side. Mikkel Belt, a lot of contact near baseline, and Chambers picks up the foul there on Belt. Shot attempt no good, but Belt will have 2 free throws upcoming. 4th team foul on Laurel Highlands. And the first on Chambers. They've spread them around. 1 on Keandre, 1 on Davis, 1 on Joey, and 1 on Johns as Belt makes the first of 2 free throws. Belt came in 12 of 18, 67% for the season from the free throw line. Albert Gallatin as a team, 174 of 288, just 60%. Second of 2 free throws, good there for Belt. And the AG lead back up to 3 at 18-15. 7:40 left before halftime. Keandre back to Brandon Davis, far side Rodney Gallagher. Now Brandon again up top, back to Rod, open look, far wing for 3, drains it. First points of the night for Rodney Gallagher come from outside the arc, and we're tied at 18.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, Gallagher always has a sense and a feel when this team needs a few points, and wouldn't be surprised if he goes, if he gets 8 or 10 points this quarter.
Cameron Pratt missed on a 3. Jaden Pratt with a rebound there for Laurel Highlands, with the Mustangs turn it over. Aaron pass near side. Rod couldn't hang on. Goes out of bounds back over to Albert Gallatin. Now Blaze Krisner into the game for the first time on the Laurel Highlands side, replacing Joe Chambers. His dad, Dr. Jonathan Krisner, in the front row. His Geibel Gators off tonight, but what a season Geibel's had. Hope to see the Gators in the WPIL playoffs. Here's Cameron Pratt up top, sending it off on the far side. A little juggle and a regain there from Grayson Jarrett. Switches back there with Belt. He's double teamed high on the right. Ball comes loose and fouled there by Keandre. Shoveled ahead Brandon Davis. He'll lay it up and in to give Laurel Highlands a 20-18 lead. I think at first there, Steve Davis thought about the dunk and then said, hey, this is a tie game. Let's take the easy two.
Yeah, and he was thinking about maybe the alley-oop off the board to Shields, but they thought better of it as that foul goes on Davis, his second. I think Coach Auger would have busted his gut there. He would have been so upset if they would have tried something crazy and not converted.
Especially in a close game, and another quick foul here. That's going to go on Krisner. It's already 6 fouls on the Laurel Highlands side. The only player with multiples is Brandon Davis with 2. So AG will shoot the 1-and-1 off the next Laurel Highlands foul as Matsis Chapman will trigger it in. Sends it in high on the right to Blake White. Now switches back with Matsis Chapman. Working here on Krisner. Looking for room on the near side. Picked up there by Jaden Pratt. Try to kick in the corner. No one home. And the basketball back over to Laurel Highlands right into the Mustang student section.
Well, the defense right now for the Mustangs is really turning this game kind of in their favor. The Colonials have turned the ball over and not looked comfortable with this high pressure.
Pratt sending it off. Keandre far side leans and misses. Ball loose underneath. Keandre keeping it alive. It gets the basket and 1 underneath. Keandre DeShields with 8 can make it 9 at the free throw line, and Laurel Highlands a 4-point lead at 22-18.
Good job by DeShields to kind of keep it going. And I'll say hi to my old roommate, Glenn Potter. He was from Ohio, linebacker, good player for the Mountaineers. He was a special teamer. He used to play on the punt team with me and the punt return team, middle linebacker, number 82.
Hello, Glenn. Thank you for watching.
Yep.
Keandre's free throw good. Foul went on Nick Pegg. His first, only the second team foul. Keandre now with 9.
He and I play a little intramural basketball for Freddy's Hot Dogs. You probably never heard of that. It was a big hot dog stand in Morgantown.
No surprise, though, you're a hot dog fan. You have 2 before every game.
Yeah.
Here's Belt here on the near wing. 3 on the way, trying to bank it in from the wing. No good. Offensive rebound deflected back to White. He sends it off on the far side. Again, good ball movement, but gets deflected out of bounds off of Laurel Highlands going out. I think it was touched there by Krisner. So Albert Gallatin will keep possession here in the Mustang zone.
It was the first place I ever had a chili dog.
Really?
I never had chili on a hot dog before. I was from New Jersey. I'd never heard of that before. And
certainly big down in Cincinnati.
Yeah, those Ohio guys. Glenn taught me how to eat a chili dog. It was pretty nice.
In the corner, Jarrett for 3 off the front of the rim. No good. Rebound deflected around. Pegg finds it off a deflection.
Oh, Pegg.
Lays it up and in. Pegg playing a big first half with 7.
He's scrappy down there, just getting the rebounds and keeping the Colonials in it. Now this is an upset just to be within 3 at this point. These Mustangs have really been tearing people apart this year.
Rod Long, 2 up top. Good. Rodney Gallagher with 5 second quarter points. Mustangs go back up 5 at 25-20. 5:16 left here in the second quarter. A little crossover there from Matsis Chapman. Try to kick it back to Belt. Got deflected out of bounds again off of Laurel Highlands and out. So Albert Gallatin will keep possession. Bobby Ritchie tells me on the live stream team, Steve, he knows Freddy's dogs.
Oh, yeah.
So Bobby Ritchie checking in as well. Hello, Bobby. And AG sends it in back up top there to Grayson Jarrett, far side. Over to Matsis Chapman, and now Blake White, edge of the zone. White now on the far wing, was fronted there by Krisner. Back between the circles again to Matsis Chapman. Interior pass to Pegg, sent it off to his right, cutting and scoring. Blake White, second field goal of the game for White. He has 4. AG back within a possession. They're down 25-22.
Boy, give these Colonials credit. They are scrappy and hanging in there. Big crowd tonight. Playoff atmosphere, and they're hanging in there with the Mustangs.
Gallagher back up to Davis. 3 good. Brandon Davis not letting those couple of personal fouls bother him. Second made 3. He has 10. Mustangs go back up 6. Belt looking for another bank. Missed it there. Pegg got the rebound. Try to feed it back to Jarrett. Little miscommunication. Goes out of bounds and back over to Laurel Highlands.
He was 5 feet from the basket straight on, and he could have nobody around him. I don't think he thought he was going to be that open. And he tried to throw a bounce pass that went underneath the basket and out of bounds, and that's an opportunity lost for the Colonials.
Keandre on the far wing, down low. Jaden Pratt back out to Rod. Open look, near wing, out the front of the rim. No good on that 3 attempt. In traffic, rebound pulled down by Blake White, and a jump ball called as the Mustangs came over and got a piece of it. Go to the arrow, favor Laurel Highlands.
The Mustangs get hot shooting at Davis. Number 3 and number 2 Gallagher can hit from the outside. The Shields, number 1, he can hit from the outside. They get those threes going a little bit, and all of a sudden now opens up the inside game.
There's Gallagher left of the lane, comes inside, hands off Keandre, a little spin move. Back out to Davis. He'll fire the 3 and hit it. Brandon Davis, you called it, Steve. Yeah. He's getting hot now. He's made 3 threes, has 8 here in the second, 13 for the game. Just like that, Laurel Highlands up 9 at 31-22. 3:43 left before halftime. Matzes Chapman double team dancing around. The ball got kicked off of Brandon Davis's foot now.
They got a case of the zoomies now. Is that
yes,
what they
do.
call it?
Yes,
that's what.
Our buddy Jason Taylor introduced us to that term.
He's a scorer. He's down there keeping the clock, and I called it the energy fits. My daughter's dog, Zeus, he runs around like a maniac when I get there, and he's I guess it's a common term because she recognizes. She said, "Yeah, that's what they call it, the zoomies."
Little double team here on the near side, and once again the Colonials cough it up. Davis coming back. Couldn't finish there with a left hand. Pegged the rebound in traffic. Got
a foul on the Shields. Reach in.
That'll be his second.
Yep, after the miss. The Mustangs, though, stretching it out a little bit now, 31-22.
Get a 1-and-1 back on the other side. That was the 7th team foul on Laurel Highlands. And only 2 have been committed by Albert Gallatin, 1 on Matzes Chapman, 1 on Peg. Laurel Highlands with 2 on Keandre, 2 on Brandon Davis.
Big George down in Delaware has got to get that foam finger scratching a little bit. Get him going, George. Get us going.
Well, Peg here the line for Albert Gallatin, front end of the 1-and-1 good as Peg got a friendly roll. It came in 56% for the season, 34 of 61.
Line drive off the front iron, and it bounces off the board and back in. Look, he was straight on with it at least, wasn't he?
Peg, 2nd and 2 on the way and good again. Albert Gallatin hitting some free throws here early on, and we have a timeout with 3:25 left before halftime. 31-24 Mustangs are back at 60 from the CR Product Group High School Sports Night.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest. Now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
Going on now at Sweetheart Bridge Chevy East. Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Silverado for only $319 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit SeaHarborChevyEast.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles per year. With $4,500 cash trade equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Payment is for tax title fees and for payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends February 28, 2022. While supplies last. Residency restrictions apply. Call dealer for all of the details at 724-668-2231.
Brandon Davis missed down a 3 as we come back, but Keandre able to clean it up down low, Steve, and that puts Keandre in double figures with 11.
Keandre getting a lot of his points down in the paint, getting rebounds. There's a steal by Davis.
Davis back on it. Mustangs running back. Davis sensing a 2-on-3, pulls it out to Rod, who drives near wing and in, hands off Jaden Pratt, who's unable to finish on the right block on the first attempt, but got it back and able to lay it up and in. And just like that, Steve, lead back up to 11 at 35-24 with 2:45 left before halftime.
Pratt misses but gets a rebound. Gets a
little slip there from Bell at the foul line. Mustangs on it again. Here's Brandon Davis coming back. A little contact. They'll give him the basket and 1. Foul called underneath there on Cameron Pratt.
And that's why the Mustangs are ranked number 2 in the state. All of a sudden the Colonials playing their guts out, keeping this game close, and all of a sudden a little run, and it's going to be a 13, 14-point lead.
Well, Davis now 16 points, including 11 here in the second quarter. A 16 of the 38 for Laurel Highlands, and the lead now up to 14 at 38-24. After Albert Gallatin led Laurel Highlands 16-13 after 1 quarter of play. So the Mustangs put up a ton of points, Steve, 25 already here in the second quarter. AG driving back. It's Cameron Pratt. Floater in the lane. No good. Peg offensive rebound. He's played strong tonight.
Peg,
after that make, he has 11.
Scrappy.
And a steal from Peg. Intercepting an errant Laurel Highlands pass. And then Jaden Pratt tries to come back to get into the play. He went down.
No, he's okay.
And Cameron Pratt driving back. A lot of contact. Charge call there on Cameron Pratt. And the Mustangs will get it back.
Shea Fleener's not going to like that call as Krisner got in there and got position, but he was sliding into the defender, and I don't think Shea likes that one, but he's not going to have much to say in the matter, is he?
Fourth team foul on Albert Gallatin, and that's the second on Cameron Pratt. As Gallagher brings it across, bounce pass out to Keandre, comes baseline far side in traffic, gets it to go. Keandre to Shields. 7 here in the second quarter, 13 for the game. It's a 40-26 lead for Laurel Highlands with 1:45 left before halftime.
Who was that one on? The Shields?
Correct.
Yep.
Belt coming in traffic, a miss, cleaning it up far block. And that was Grayson Jarrett that time. So Jarrett with a putback score, giving him 7. 40-28 Mustangs, 12-point lead as we go under 90 seconds left here in the second quarter. Another intercept for Matzes Chapman. Bounce pass forward, Belt missed underneath, but cleaned up again on the far block. And that time, Steve, it was Blake White in traffic. So White with 6. Timeout Laurel Highlands, 1:15 left before halftime. Colonials have it back to within 10 at 40-30. We're back in 60 here on the CR Product Group High School Sports Night.
Good times and good food. It's all at Potter's Bar and Grill on Morgantown Street in Uniontown, family owned and operated. Potter's has been a staple in the Uniontown community since 1950. So get out of the house and make your next night out at Potter's Bar and Grill on Morgantown Street in Uniontown. Call them up at 724-438-9835. That's 724-438-9835. Or visit Potter's on Facebook. We'll see you at Potter's.
Attorney Thomas W. Schaefer litigated over 275 civil and criminal trials, some of which have been aired on Oprah, Inside Edition, and ESPN. Having an engineering degree, master's in business administration, and law degree qualifies him to go toe-to-toe with anyone. His firm concentrates in wills, trusts, estates, property transfers, personal injury, solar field and Marcellus gas negotiations, and family law. Small enough to care and smart enough to win. Phone 724-425-1162 or email TommySchaefer@hotmail.com.
Mustangs with the basketball as we come back, leading by 10. 3 up top, good. Wow. Brandon Davis again. Running out of room in my scoring column for him here, Steve, in the second quarter. He is 14 here in the second and now 19 for the game. And the Mustang lead back up to 13 at 43-30. AG coming back here, left of the lane, Peg. Little kick out, far side, Matzes Chapman. Missed there on the 3, rebound deflected around, and that's Peg on the save. He'll spot up from the outside. 3-ball and air ball. Goes on the backside, found there by Jaden Pratt. Touch from Davis. Forward to Gallagher, drives. They're going to call that and one. No! Charge call there on Gallagher.
Well, usually Rodney Gallagher gets the benefit on those calls, but not that time.
Donnie Santor said it was a good call, Steve. He was right on it.
Well, I mean, it was pretty close. Could have went either way. You really can't complain a lot.
Have to thank our video stream sponsors tonight, Mamaruka's Pizza Shop and the Somerset Trust Company. Brian Morozak along with Steve Super, Donnie Santor behind the camera tonight. Nick Barczyk back inside our WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital studios. They wipe up a little moisture off the court.
My buddy Glenn Potters told me he had to go walk the dog because he said his dog has the zoomies. But he's going to catch the second half. But his dog, great name for a dog, Satchel Paige.
Wow.
That's a cool name, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Little pressure up top on Llewellyn, lost it off his knee and out. And the Mustangs get it back, trying to close here with a flurry.
Sorry, that call could have went either way. And, at 43-30, though, I don't think Coach Hogger wants to get too upset with the officials.
No.
Kind of let it play out.
One of those bang calls.
Yeah.
Here's Keandre back to Gallagher. Time running out here in the second quarter. Rod drives and scores, and that's how you finish if you're Laurel Highlands. Ronnie Gallagher, 7 second quarter points. Mustangs a 15-point lead as we head to the locker room. Laurel Highlands 45, Albert Gallatin 30. We'll recap the first half numbers for you in a moment here on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sproul's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to SproulsInsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Does your car sound like it's saying, trade me in, every time you start it up? Well, go to Ford of Uniontown and trade it in. That's right, your Uniontown Ford dealer is ready to assist you with a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV purchase. Ford of Uniontown has all the deals, all the inventory, and they are ready to deal. It has never been a better time to buy a Ford. Service is their top priority. No matter where you purchase your Ford car or truck, Ford of Uniontown will be happy to service it for you. They offer Ford-trained technicians, Ford-certified parts and service, 1-year, 12,000-mile parts warranties, and new state-of-the-art service equipment. Call or stop in today to see the hometown service of Ford of Uniontown, Route 40 West across from Applebee's. So listen to your car the next time you hear it say, "Trade me in! Trade me in!" Ford of Uniontown, Route 40 at the top of the hill. With branches in Markleysburg, Connellsville, Hopwood, Uniontown, and Perryopolis, Somerset Trust Company is truly Fayette County's community bank. We invite you to stop by and experience the Somerset Trust Company difference. Local decision-making, convenient locations, extended hours, award-winning online and mobile banking, and more. Somerset Trust Company, community banking worth talking about. Branches and ATMs throughout Fayette County.
Magisterial District Judge Daniel Shimshock wants you to stay safe this winter. Make sure your car is ready with a full tank of gas and winter tires. Run cold water in your house so the pipes don't freeze. And don't overdo it when shoveling snow. These winter safety tips courtesy of Magisterial District Judge Daniel Shimshock, hoping that you enjoy the snow while staying safe. When your car is damaged, the name to remember is Ted Silva and Son Body and Fender Repair. Currently in their 59th year of providing quality, reliable service to the community, Ted Silva and Son offers complete collision service, minor to major repairs, frame and unibody repair, and glass installation. They will gladly blueprint your vehicle for repair, and they will work with your insurance company. With a paint booth that utilizes the environmentally friendly waterborne paint process, Ted Silva and Son not only cares for our community and our children, they care for our environment. Located on Atlas Road in Hopwood, it is the goal of Ted Silva and Son to alleviate the stress of an accident and assist you in any way possible. Family owned and operated for 59 years. Call 724-437-2351 for Ted Silva and Son Body and Fender Repair, LLC. Proud to sponsor local high school sports. Come see what everyone's crowing about. It's Rooster's Roost next to the Uniontown Shopping Center on Francis Street in the Old Eddie's Tavern location. Craving pizza, wings, fried chicken, hoagies, or your favorite salad or side? It's all at Rooster's Roost. Eat in, take out, or have it delivered. Call 724-320-2244 or order online at roostersroost.com. Use the coupon radio and get $3 off your online order. Gift certificates also available. Stop in Rooster's Roost today.
Simply Sweet, a party boutique. Located at 21 North Basin Avenue, is the sweetest little boutique in the area. Simply Sweet is filled with Valentine's Day party decor, paper goods, and gifts for your favorite Valentine, Galentine, or sweet little time. Surprise someone special this Valentine's Day, or anytime with one balloon or a bunch from Simply Sweet's Balloon Bar. Simply call 724-317-4929. Simply Sweet Boutique also specializes in balloon decor, event rentals, and event planning.
45-30, Laurel Highlands leading Albert Gallatin here at halftime. Brian Morozak along with Steve Super. Steve is your halftime stats. They're being brought to you by Peachin's Pharmacy, located inside the downtown Connellsville Peachin Market.
For the Colonials, Blake White finishes with 6 points. Matsis Chapman with 2. And Belt with 4. And Pegg with 11 points. And Jarrett with 7. They scored 16 in the first, 14 in the second, 30 at the half. Mustangs, DeShields finishes with 13 points. Gallagher with 7, all in that second quarter. Davis with 19. Pratt with 4. Chambers with 2. And they scored 13 in the first, 32 in the second for a 45-30 halftime lead. They outscored the Colonials 32-14 in that second quarter. So that's That's what's able to build that big lead. And Brian, I got to tell you, I know you weren't paying attention. You're looking at your stats or do whatever you're doing, but the halftime was really neat. You know, they do that halftime shoot, which I'm not really crazy about, but the cheerleaders, it was really cool. They were playing that Cotton Eye Joe song. You heard it? Well, they were dancing together. Each team, like 2 girls from each squad, were together dancing with the in front of the school, in front of the student section. It was really cool.
That Cotton Eye Joe always gets everybody off out there.
Yeah, it was really good. So it was pretty neat to see that that's kind of cool thing about a local kind of crosstown rival, if you will. All these girls and kids know each other. And so that was fun to see. Good camaraderie there.
45-30, Laurel Highlands, the halftime leader. Back to the second half right after this here on WMBS, the True Live High School Sports Network and Facebook Live.
Just as your local State Farm agent combines good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you'll get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. In fact, State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman is your go-to agent in Uniontown for the service you deserve at the price you want. So try to combine home and auto today. State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call 724-592-6308 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For attorney Melinda Della Rose, helping people with compassionate counseling, candid legal advice, strong advocacy, and professional commitment is what she does best. With an office at 99 East Main Street in downtown Uniontown, attorney Della Rose specializes in family law, municipal law, and general civil litigation, as well as personal injury, estate planning, probate, and more. For more information, call attorney Melinda Della Rose, 724-437-3200, 724-437-3200, or online at DellaRoseLaw.com.
Looking for a dentist? Dr. Michael George and Dr. Ashley Parker of George Dental Associates, a Uniontown staple, has over 40 years' experience treating patients of all ages. Their caring, professional team of dentists and their staff offer a full range of dental services, including restorative, preventative, pediatric, cosmetic, and so much more. Visit GeorgeDentalAssociates.com today. That's GeorgeDentalAssociates.com, and find out how they can enhance your smile through the art of dentistry. Wishing the Mustangs a successful season.
This is Dr. Fraser Stokes of SWGI Specialists, extending best wishes to our Fayette County teams. Our providers and staff all live locally and are committed to fulfilling the digestive health needs of our community. We encourage everyone at age 50 to get a screening colonoscopy because preventing cancer is the best way to fight cancer. Call 724-437-7677 or visit us at swgispecialists.com.
I'm worried about this winter weather. How are we going to get to the grocery store for the next few months? I'm not too comfortable driving in the snow anymore, and with your disability, you definitely can't drive.
You know, the last time I went to the doctor's office, they're talking about FACT.
FACT?
Yeah, Fayette Area Coordinated Transportation. FACT will come to the house and pick us up. They have fixed routes to places like Pittsburgh and Uniontown, even Nemacolin and Woodlands. FACT also has a shared ride program that schedules you to go to places like the doctor's office or the grocery store.
Well, you know, the grandkids will be at our house when school's canceled.
FACT lets anyone ride the fixed route bus, and children under 12 accompanied by an adult ride for free, as do us seniors age 65 and up.
Wow, FACT might be the right answer for us this winter. Do you have their number?
Yes, it's 724-628-RIDE or factbus.com.
It's a fact. We're Fayette County Public Transit. Going on now at T. Harper Chevy. Our customers can drive away in a new 2022 Chevy Silverado for only $319 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles per year with 4,500 tax rate equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Payment is plus tax, federal fees, and first payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends February 28, 2022. While supplies last. Residency restrictions apply. Call dealer for all other details at 724-99-8000.
Prime Rozak and Steve Supert back here at Laurel Highlands High School, ready to start the second half. Laurel Highlands a 45-30 lead over the Albert Gallatin Colonials. Brandon Davis leading the way for the Mustangs with 19. Nick Pegg with 11 for Albert Gallatin. Steve, among the games canceled tonight, we mentioned the Uniontown South Park game. That'll be made up on Monday. We'll have the game for you here on WMBS. 7:30 tip-off. Also Ringgold and West Mifflin. West Mifflin, the Mustangs' next opponent. They'll play that game coming up tomorrow night at 7:30. Laurel Highlands will have their eyes on that one since they face West Mifflin in their next game. There's Mikkel Belt. Colonials working left to right as we describe it here in the third quarter. Back to Blake White. Touch there from Pegg. Almost lost the handle. Saved by Belt. Sent back around to White. And White handing back off to Pegg. And he lost it out of bounds. Back over to Laurel Highlands. Pegg appeared to have it there. Steve just couldn't hang on.
Just couldn't hold it. It's a hot potato.
Now we'll see if we get a surge out of Laurel Highlands. Out of the 4 quarters the Mustangs have played this season, the third quarter has tended to be their worst. Have not come out of the locker room well a lot of times this season, but Keandre with a 3 here coming up short. Gallagher able to clean it up on the backside, tipping it up and in. So Rod now with 9, and the Laurel Highlands lead now up to 17 at 47-30.
He came soaring in from the right wing.
White again up top, shoveled back. Mikkel Belt here on the near side, watched by Brandon Davis. Pegg sets the screen, and now Belt sends it in Pegg's direction. Back out to White, 3, rattled out on the near side. Pegg tracked down another offensive rebound, got pinned up. Pass was deflected, intercepted by Keandre. Sent ahead to Brandon Davis, who drives, missed there. Loose underneath, and Albert Gallatin's Matsis Chapman the rebound. Outlet pass down to White. Leans in on Chambers and drew the foul on Joey Chambers. Shot attempt no good, but he'll have 2 free throws upcoming. Blake White for Albert Gallatin.
Should be the second on Chambers.
It is. First foul of the second half on Laurel Highlands. White for the season, 75% from the foul line, 27 of 36. First of 2 here, no good. That's the first free throw miss of the night for Albert Gallatin. They were 4-4 prior to that. Mustangs leading by 17. White's second of 2 free throws on the way in good. AG back to within 16 of Laurel Highlands at 47-31. Colonials will travel to North Allegheny tomorrow night for a non-conference game. Then they'll host Connellsville coming up on Tuesday. Gallagher cross court near side Keandre. Keandre now on the near wing, fronted there by Belt. Pulls it back to Rod, touched in the corner. Joey Chambers for 3 off the side of the rim, no good. Rebound underneath, corralled there by Blake White. And White will bring it across. Try to set the screen there. Pegg got it back, and he'll kick it out in the far wing. And that 3 attempt rattling out there for Blake White. Now check that, Matsis Chapman. Matsis Chapman missing on that 3. Rod back on the other side. Floater from the foul line, no good. In traffic, Belt had it, lost it. Johns found it and lays it up and in. First 2 of the game for Nico Johns.
Nico just snuck in there and flicked it away and got it right. Flipped it right back to himself and was able to lay it in.
Here's Belt on the far side, battling inside in traffic, floating it up and in. Grayson Jarrett. So Jarrett with 9. It's a 49-33 lead for Laurel Highlands. Up 16 with 5:28 left here in the third. Gallagher driving back, kick out, reset. Keandre, 3 too strong off the back iron. Johns came crashing in, but it's Albert Gallatin's Grayson Jarrett with the rebound. Forward to Belt, spun through center, back to Jarrett, and he got fouled underneath.
They're going to probably call that on Pratt. He got him first.
That'll be team foul number 2 on Laurel Highlands. Second personal on Nico Johns. And Albert Gallatin will send it in down low, and a block there from Keandre on Pegg. Mustangs in transition. Gallagher underneath. Lays it up and in. Rodney Gallagher. So Gallagher in double figures with 11. It's a 49-33 lead for the Mustangs. Check that 51-33 lead, and then banking it in from the far side for Albert Gallatin. And that was White. So White in double figures with 10, and that was from way deep, Steve. 51-36.
He got his new ATM card, and the bank's open late tonight.
Gallagher driving back. Another pretty move, far baseline and in. Rodney Gallagher, and you're right, Steve, he's heating up. 6 here in the third, 13 for the game, 53-36. Mustangs starting to cruise along here in the third quarter. Matsis Chapman, good no-look pass down low to White, who lost the handle out of bounds, back over to Laurel Highlands. Cameron Pratt backing on the Albert Gallatin side.
White caught the ball. He was kind of going off the right side, and he probably realized if he came down with it, he was going to be almost out of bounds and was going to have nothing to do with it, so he tried to spin in midair and try to shoot it, but he just lost the handle.
Gallagher missing there on a high arcing 3 attempt. Ball poked out of bounds. Going to rule it off of Keandre, and he was very close on the near side with Matsis Chapman. And ruled off of Laurel Highlands and out, so the Colonials get it back.
Coach Smith and Coach Hogger trying to ask the referee what they saw there.
Matzes Chapman, far side. That's Cameron Pratt draining the three. So his first points of the game come from outside the arc. The sophomore guard Cameron Pratt. AG still hanging around. They're down 14 to 53-39 with 3:51 left here in the third. Keandre back outside. Brandon Davis, hard pass down low. Johns comes free and lays it up, and then Nico Johns. He has 4 third-quarter points, 55-39 Mustangs.
Good job by Nico there not to try to dribble and take too much time. He knew he was going to get some traffic there, so he just kind of went right to the basket and laid it in.
Far side, Matzes Chapman, touch from Peg on the elbow, comes inside, a little dunk underneath. They couldn't get the shot to go, and the Mustangs coming back. Alley-oop action finished there by Keandre.
Well, you can see that one coming. And somebody hurt?
Keandre went down. Hopefully just a cramping situation there on Keandre.
Oh, boy. Let's hope.
UPMC Centers for Rehab Services injury timeout brought to you by UPMC Centers for Rehab Services, the leaders in physical therapy. Visit physical therapist Jim Burns at 160 Wayland Smith Drive or phone 724-437-7500. The Centers for Rehab Services relief is closer than you think. We'll take a quick 30 here on the CR Product Group High School Sports Night.
Hi, I'm Russ Plaho. As your local Allstate agent, providing protection that fits your life is something I take, personally. I'm committed to learning about your needs and personalizing protection to meet them. From bundling your auto, home, and life insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage based on your protection needs. I can build an insurance proposal that fits your life. Are you in good hands? Contact me, Russ Plaho, for a free quote.
Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary.
Back here at Laurel Highlands High School, Steve, good to see Keandre walking off under his own power. Appears just to be a cramping situation, at least we hope.
Well, I don't know, Dr. Morozak. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not going to speculate, but he is walking. So
they're trying to work it out like a cramp.
Well, they're giving him a lot of water, so that's he might be right. Let's hope that's all it is.
Matzes Chapman bringing it back across. Flung over to Blake White. White high on the left. Little bounce pass over there. Peg try to go back inside. Just went right to Rodney Gallagher. Gallagher back on it. Feeds it down to Davis. Back to Ron. Open look on the wing for three. Off the side of the rim. No good. Actually almost bounced back in. But Peg finds the rebound. Colonials down 18 with the basketball. 57-39. 2:40 left here in the third. That's a travel on Blake White. And the Mustangs will get it back. Mikel Belt's back in on the Albert Gallatin side.
And they're stretching him over there, so that's...
Does my diagnosis appear to be correct at this point?
Well, usually when you got to stretch out those cramps. If it was anything worse than that, they wouldn't be stretching him like that, I wouldn't think.
Davis missed down a three. Albert Gallatin the rebounds. The Colonials with the basketball down 18. Here's Belt in the lane. Nice handoff. Peg will put it off the glass and in. Nick Peg continues to play well tonight with 13 points on the Albert Gallatin side. 57-41. Laurel Highlands lead at 16.
It was definitely one of the better dunks of the year, wouldn't you think?
I agree. Put that one up on the highlight reel. Up top, Davis down low. Jaden Pratt slams one home. Second dunk of the night for the Mustangs. Jaden Pratt has two in every quarter. 59-41, 18-point lead for the Mustangs as we go under 2 minutes left here in the third. Belt up top. Pulls it back on the near side. Blake White got fouled. Third team foul on the Mustangs here in the second half.
Call that on Nico Johns. Not much contact there. He was trying to squeeze in between Johns and Gallagher.
Third on Nico here tonight. Peg back in the corner. Up top, Matzes Chapman. Watched there by Joey Chambers. And Joey, a little poke out of bounds, stays with Albert Gallatin here in the Laurel Highlands zone.
Sumter's going to check in now. Who's he going to come in for Johns?
To the Mustangs without Tajai Hooper tonight, and also no Mason Bolish. There's a couple players short in their rotation this evening. Blake White again up top on the near wing to Matzes Chapman. White another touch. Now Cameron Pratt left of the lane. Tough shot, couldn't get it to go. Jaden Pratt, the rebound there for Laurel Highlands. Off to Davis, across to Chambers, and Joey Chambers drives and scores.
Good job by Chambers, a little up and under. Avoided the contact, and there's going to be a foul, no, timeout.
Full timeout, Albert Gallatin, 61-41 Mustangs are back in 60 from the CR Product Group High School Sports Night.
I'm attorney Rob Harper, and I'm happy to be joining Bill Martin and Tripp Radcliffe at Radcliffe Law in Uniontown. I grew up in Uniontown and chose to make Fayette County my home. I also represent the county as an assistant district attorney, and I know my way around a courtroom. If you were hurt in an accident, buying or selling a home, need assistance with an estate or will preparation, call me at Radcliffe Law, 724-439-3939. The initial consultation is free. Radcliffe Law, making the law personal.
Looking for a fast, friendly notary service? Sandy Howell Notary Services, LLC, 158 Dry Knob Road, Smithfield, PA, is here to help with transfers, plate renewals, new PA plates, and more. They serve Uniontown, Smithfield, Fairchance, and surrounding areas. Open weekday evenings starting at 5:30 p.m., Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sandy Howell Notary Services, 158 Dry Knob Road, Smithfield, 724-564-8955. Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you by name.
We're back here at Laurel Highlands High School, 61-41. The Mustangs over the Albert Gallatin Colonials. Brian Morozak along with Steve Super. Nick Barczyk back inside our WV Medicine Uniontown Hospital studios. Donnie Santor behind the camera. We have 1:05 left here in the third quarter. Fourth quarter hasn't started yet. Matsis Chapman back up top here for Albert Gallatin. Back over to Belts on the far wing. In the corner, Cameron Pratt.
And the good news is the Shield's back on the bench at least, so I think he's lobbying to come back in the game. I don't know if Coach Hogger's going to let him, but
Matsis Chapman missed there on a three. Brandon Davis coming back. Jumper left of the lane, good for Brandon Davis. After having 19 in the first quarter, or in the first half, Steve, those were his first 2 points here in the third quarter, so he's 21 for the game. Belt coming back, quick three, good. Mikel Belt.
Whoa, that was Belt. Lucky the official didn't see what he just did there.
He flashed the three, didn't he?
He flashed one of those fingers you're not supposed to flash.
Davis, far elbow, good again on a jumper.
That was a two?
Two for Davis, three for Belt on the other side, so 65-44.
NFL would have been 15 yards for taunting.
Yes.
And I'm sure that if the official would have saw that, yeah, he was...
We know his dad pretty well. Steve does a lot of filming. Wonder if he caught that one.
I wonder if he got that on film. It's something for the... I might want to erase that videotape.
Here's Belt. Will send it in here on the near side into the backcourt to Cameron Pratt.
It was a nice shot.
It was. Swished it in. Cameron Pratt back to Belt, trying to close with a flurry here, and this three is an air ball and end the quarter. So 65-44 Mustangs. After three, we're back with a fourth quarter in 60 here on the CR Product Group High School Sports Night.
UPMC Centers for Rehab Services on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted. Experienced therapists. Convenient location and hours. Part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access 724-437-7500.
Attorneys from all over the state and nation advertise in southwestern Pennsylvania for personal injury and workers' comp cases. But most of them send their assistants to do the legwork. You might not even meet your attorney until your first hearing.
We're local attorneys, Davis & Davis. We meet directly with our clients, including free consultation, and there are no fees until you receive money on your case. If you've been injured, call Davis & Davis, representing you and your neighbors yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Phone 724-437-2799.
Back for the fourth quarter here at Laurel Highlands tonight, 65-44. Mustangs over the Albert Gallatin Colonials. Brandon Davis leading the way for Laurel Highlands with 23. Nick Pegg with 13 on the Albert Gallatin side. Your thoughts on what you've seen so far tonight, Steve?
Well, I think, Mustangs came on pretty strong after that first quarter, and you got to give the Colonials credit for hanging in there. They're doing all they can to keep this competitive, and they've made it competitive, but it's just, Mustangs are just too strong.
Little handoff down low, travel call there on the Mustangs. They thought it was clean. Good ball movement.
They call it travel.
Yes. Albert Gallatin is yet to commit a foul here in the second half. Mustangs have only committed 3.
Mustangs or Colonials have 14 points in the second and third quarter and 16 in the first, so pretty consistent scoring, but just not enough.
Mustangs had that explosion with 32 in the second.
And 20 in the third.
Now turnover here on the Albert Gallatin side. High pass here on the near side. Goes out of bounds back over to Laurel Highlands.
And DeShields back in the game, so our man George down in Delaware, Big George, has got to be happy. Get that finger ready. Maybe you'll get another dunk for him.
I think he has a spunk back in his step too, which is good for Keandre DeShields after cramping up a little bit. They're going to set up another alley-oop, and that time he's able to pull it down. Couldn't get the dunk to go and missed on the layup here on the near block. A tap back out, though, to Rod, who comes inside, and he'll get the and one. So still a positive result on the possession for Laurel Highlands. Gallagher now with 15 can make it 16 here at the foul line. Lead now up to 23 at 67-44 with 7:21 left here in the fourth.
Second foul on Pegg. And give Pegg credit, boy, he's playing his heart out. He's, 13 points, but all over the place on defense as well. Hustling around, getting rebounds, scrappy.
Gallagher made the free throw, and then a quick miss from Belt coming back in transition. The pass for Rod got intercepted. Pegg knocked it down, went to Belt, and then Jaden Pratt came back, picked it up for Laurel Highlands, and he got fouled.
That's going to be on
Belt. Yep. His first, team first. Now check that, team second of the second half. Had the foul on the and one on Rod as well. Now Rod will trigger it into the corner, Brandon Davis. Davis coming near baseline. Flings it back to the wing to Jaden Pratt. Foul line touch Sumter, near side Keandre. He's double teamed, directs traffic. Up top again to Rod. We'll switch back up top again with Brandon Davis. Near side Keandre. Davis again, far side to Rod. Elbow, Jaden Pratt. Now a jumper from the foul line for Jaden off the front of the rim. No good. Keandre, offensive rebound. Scored on the putback, so Keandre still having another good game, Steve, with 17. Lead back up to 26 now. It's 70-44 with 6:32 left here in the fourth.
Well, he got a lot of points in the first half, just like that, getting offensive rebounds and just putting them back in. He just jumped so high.
Cameron Pratt got double teamed. Nice save on the far side and then deflected out, ruled off of Laurel Highlands and out. Will stay Albert Gallatin's basketball. And the Mustangs back in action on Tuesday at West Mifflin. We'll have that game for you here on WMBS. Also high school basketball on Monday with Uniontown hosting South Park. And they'll get Sumter for a foul there on Pegg. AJ a little push in the back. His first, team fourth. Jarrett will bounce it in there to Pegg, and he got fouled underneath, and Rod didn't like that foul. After hardly any fouls, Steve, throughout that third quarter, getting him in a hurry here in the fourth. Second on Rod. Jarrett triggers it in and sent it right to Brandon Davis. Davis will race back and lay it up and in. So Brandon Davis, 25 tonight. 72-44, Mustangs lead at 28. So you get another bucket and get it to 30. You'll run the clock. Davis almost a strip there. AG keeps it alive. White jumper blocked by Davis. White got it back. Play whistled down. Foul on the floor here on Laurel Highlands. That'll be the 16th foul. And go on Nico. No, check that. Go on Sumter, his second.
Yep.
So they'll shoot a 1-and-1 on the next foul. Jarrett will trigger it in. Going to see the mayor of Uniontown here, Billy Gerke, tonight, with John McCune underneath the basket off to our right. Now off the inbounds pass. Another quick foul. Again on Gallagher. Wow.
It's on the floor, though. I don't think the basket's going to count. That's the third foul on Gallagher.
But it'll be a 1-and-1 here.
With the score at 72-44, not a lot to be concerned about from the Mustangs side of things.
White, front end of a 1-and-1, good. White now 2 of 3 from the foul line. He scored 11 points.
It's the first point of the fourth quarter.
On the whole Albert Gallatin side, you're right, Steve, coming with 5:52 left here in the fourth, pulling them back to within 27. White's second free throw went in hard. Was no good. Mustangs come back. Gallagher in transition, drives the lane and floats it up and in. So Rodney Gallagher, 5 here in the fourth, 18 for the game. Mustangs up 29.
Pegg was trying to draw the charge, and Gallagher got in the air and somehow was able to float around, and that should be a backcourt.
It is. As Matsis Chapman had a little juggle there and then regained in the backcourt, so Laurel Highlands will get possession back. They changed the score to 74-46. Thought the lead was at 29, wasn't it? Now they adjusted, 74-45. And Gallagher coming back, and another foul called here on the floor. That'll be team foul number 4 on Albert Gallatin here in the second half, and the first on Blake White's. So Gallagher will send it in up top again to Keandre. Going to basket on this possession. We'll run the clock the rest of this fourth quarter on the Laurel Highlands side. And Keandre spots up for the three. Too strong off the back iron and off a little deflection. It's controlled there by Albert Gallatin's Matsis Chapman. Sends it off to Cameron Pratt. He's double teamed and then fouled there by A.J. Sumter, and he didn't like that call either.
I don't know about that one. It looked like he just grabbed the ball and took it away from him. Coach Hogger is giving it to the officials.
Front end of the 1-and-1, good for Cameron Pratt.
For the most part, I think these guys have done a pretty good job tonight, but I don't know about that call. I mean, it looked like just A.J. just took the ball right out of his hands. I don't know how you call a foul, and A.J.'s talking to the other official and basically let him know he didn't like the call.
And the second of 2 free throws on the way and good again for Cameron Pratt. And Cameron with 5, and now you get Nico Johns checking in there for A.J. Sumter. And Jaden Pratt will send it in here to Gallagher. So a 27-point lead for the Mustangs at 74-47. 5:06 left here in the fourth. Brandon Davis, edge of the zone, touch to the elbow. Johns, baseline far side. Gallagher handing off out in front. Keandre lays it up and in.
I think he was probably had visions of trying to dunk that one, but he didn't get enough of a run to it.
19 for Keandre, lead back up to 29 at 76-47. 4:46 left here in the fourth. There's Nick Pegg. Sending it off far side. Grayson Jarrett comes far baseline. He got swatted underneath. Pratt with a block. But it turned an ankle. Keandre comes up the floor and sends it off the glass and in. Keandre to Shields to give Keandre 21 for the game. Timeout Albert Gallatin. 4:29 left here in the fourth. And we're back in 60 here on the C. Harper Group High School Sports Night.
Derby's Riverside Ford is pleased to announce that we have once again been awarded Ford Motor Company's highest honors for 2020, the Ford President's Award. In order to achieve this award, dealers must exceed customer expectations every day and achieve the highest levels of performance. The pursuit of excellence requires passion, tenacity, and hard work in both sales and service. The Thurby family and our employees would like to thank our customers for scoring us the highest in the Pittsburgh region for customer satisfaction. The Thurby family has earned the prestigious President's Award 20 times. No other Ford dealer in the tri-state area can claim this milestone. Remember, victory is achieved each time a customer translates into a lifelong relationship, and that's a celebration of excellence. Please stop by Thurby's Riverside Ford and experience the difference.
Brian Rozak, Steve Subrick back here at Laurel Highlands High School. The Mustangs leading now by 31 at 78-47. Coming out of the timeout with 4:19 left here in the fourth quarter. Over running clock the rest of the way. Here's Blake White near side, scooping it out and into the corner. 3 on the way off the mark there. Cameron Pratt, rebound deflected around, and Patrick Kavanaugh finds it there for the Mustangs. Off and across to Joey Chambers. Chambers pulls it out to Schwartzfeger. We're going to have a charge called down low on Chambers.
And the big 3 are out. Davis, Gallagher, and Shields. So Nico, Johns, and Chambers have stayed in the game.
Third personal on Chambers, player control foul, so Albert Gallatin will not shoot. His belt brings it back across, switches here with Blake White. White a little space to the basket, floats it up, a miss. Kavanaugh the rebound underneath for Laurel Highlands. Outlet pass to Joe Chambers. Chambers now pulls it out on the wing over to Blaze Krisner. Krisner double team, back to Chambers up top. Comes inside, floater Nico Johns no good. Offensive rebound. Kavanaugh in traffic, pulls it back to Krisner. Krisner coming inside, again lost it out of bounds, this time to Albert Gallatin. With 3:11 left on a running clock here in the fourth quarter, Laurel Highlands leading by 31. Daniel Llewellyn now in on the Albert Gallatin side, and he seems to have a lot of fans in the Colonial student section.
Wonder if we'll see Buttercup tonight.
We might. Michael Bittner in on the Laurel Highlands side. 2:50 to play. And he closed the book on the big three. Keandre with 21, Gallagher with 18, and Shea Fleener is going to take a substitution timeout here.
He's just, yep.
And bring Grayson Jarrett back in, replacing Blake White. And White's a little upset that he's coming out.
Well, the kids want to play. They don't care what the score is.
There's Cameron Pratt up top. Trying to pull it back to Jarrett on the wing. Got intercepted by Bittner, then lost it out of bounds.
Here comes Buttercup.
And Malachi Buttercup Wallace in with 2:27 to play, replacing Nico Johns. And the crowd loves it. Fan favorite. A 31-point lead for Laurel Highlands. There's Cameron Pratt driving. Buttercup, and he called for a blocking foul. Wow. He wanted a charge there, Steve.
Tell you what, I think he deserved a charge there. He did a good job to get in position.
That's not easy for him.
Yeah.
The Mustangs not 100% happy with some of the officiating here in the fourth quarter. And a missed free throw there from Cameron Pratt. He was well off the mark. Mikel Belt now out. Now Pratt for his second free throw. Another miss. Goes out of bounds off of Laurel. Well, I thought that was off of Laurel Highlands, and out they're going to say that was off of Llewellyn and out.
Yeah, saying he must have said Llewellyn got in there, tipped it out of there.
1:49 to play. Blaze Krisner will bring it across. Krisner with a seam. Shot with the left hand, no good. He got it back in traffic, then somehow it poked away. And Grayson Jarrett finds the loose rock there for Albert Gallatin. Jarrett back into the Laurel Highlands zone. Jarrett coming down the lane, hands off down low, putting it off the glass and in. That was Caden Donnelly. His first two of the game. 78-49, lead back down to 29 with 1:20 to play here in the fourth. Krisner, far side touch there. Michael Bittner back to Krisner. These minutes are big here, Steve, for these kids that are on the floor for sure. Kavanaugh, a little juggle, got intercepted. Picked up there by Jarrett. Near side, J.J. Jackson seeing some action here late. Switch up top there with Cameron Pratt, and got blocked there on the elbow by Krisner. 53 seconds left. Krisner loses the handle out of bounds, back over to Albert Gallatin. And Buttercup, Steve, he's really developed his own fan base.
Yeah.
Folks on the live stream saying clear out the lane for Buttercup.
Kavanaugh was looking for an alley-oop there. He was going to try to dunk one, I think.
Here's Llewellyn sending out on the far side. Jarrett and his Buttercup with the poke and the steal, forcing the jump ball. Colonials, though, get it off the arrow with 20 seconds left. No, is it going to be Laurel Highlands ball? The scores table is saying it goes to AG.
Yeah.
I'll make the correction. 12 seconds left. So Jarrett will send it in. Goes to Jackson here on the wing. And Jackson knocked away by Kavanaugh. And Kavanaugh back through center. 3 seconds left. Kavanaugh puts it off the glass. It spun out late. And that'll do it. 78-49 your final score. Laurel Highlands over Albert Gallatin. We're back to tell you all about it on our post-game show brought to you by First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Comes your way next year on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live.
Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich.